Let's get salty!
Everyone, Zeddy here again today with a brand new video, and we're a couple of days removed from the latest balance patch that saw Prince Renathal get shot in the back. He seems to be doing okay, but not really dominant, as well as, you know, all the rogue changes that has let people play more rogue, apparently. But I have 5 decks in both standard and wild that you can take and reasonably expect to climb, whether it's getting to legend for the first time or maybe getting platinum, diamond, whatever it is. You should be able to have some success. I'll try and spice it up a little bit and maybe give you a Deathlight strategy you can climb with. As you see, we have hit our 500 wins with Deathlight. I'm on the road to 1,000 over at twitch.tv/Zeddy, and it's been a lot of fun, and it looks really sweet golden. I like it better than the 1,000 one. And if you enjoy the content on the channel and you feel like I've earned your subscription, please hit that subscribe button down below. Give the video a like. It helps us out a ton. We keep climbing, and I just have to thank you guys for all your incredible support. And yes, I was in that prior menu just to show off Golden Deathlight, but I mean, would you not after you have no life and all that? By the way, all achievements are done for Lich King, so that guide should be coming in a few days. So starting off with standard, we're gonna go with you know, the very exciting Big Spell Mage is back. Very good deck. I'm going to recommend it because, well, it runs like one new card from the expansion, and you might have a lot of these, and if you're looking to climb, well, one new card in Arcane Defenders, a rare, slots in pretty well, as it can be recast by Dawngrasp or a Parrot, and you can cheat it out, of course, with a Barbaric Sorceress or a Belinda Stonehearth. This is a non-Renathal version, 30 card. I think all the decks, again, I'm recommending here will not be Renathal based. 30 cards seems to be performing better so far. Hopefully I'll have some Renathal recommendations on our next deck video. Also, actually, there's 2 new cards. We also have Astalor because it's Astalor. It's kind of busted. So yeah, deck's reliable, nothing too new, nothing too exciting. So let's take a look at a deck that seems to be popping up that's relatively new, is Evolve Shaman. I mean, it's based off the now 3 Evolve cards to an extent, but it's also using the big Shaman card. Pre-Science in here, which is a 4-mana shadow spell, draws 2 minions. For each that costs 5 or more, you get 2/3 taunts. And basically what you like to do is try and get your Gold Shard Knoll, maybe a Sea Giant, but basically get it out for cheap, especially when you combine it with a card like Schooling, and then you muck pulls it and you evolve it into a random 10-drop and scam your opponent. And of course, you do have late game in here, like Burkhan the Element, the hero card. You have Glug, Tiny Toys, plus Convincing Disguise for some pretty good board presence, and Bloodlust in there as a finisher. This deck can outright scam games, and it's doing pretty darn well, so you might want to give it a try. Next, thankfully, a rogue deck is good, and it's the same old rogue deck from the last expansion. It's Jackpot Rogue, 30 card variant. You got Trickster, which allows you to cheat out whatever stupid spell you got for Jackpot, and you got Astalor, which now you can Shadow Step, and you have a 3rd Shadow Step, you have a 3rd Contraband Stash because of Shadow of Demise, an incredibly good card. You have Potion Master Putricide, as well as the Potion Belt in here for concoction synergies. And yeah, that's just ridiculous. Queen Ajara can get you an extra Colossal for 1 mana, which you can then copy with Shadow of Demise. Again, I told you guys that card would be nuts, and it is, and this deck is performing very well, and is also one of the more popular decks on ladder. We also have Pure Paladin is getting some popularity in here. No Cariel hero card. What you want to do, though, is you have Blood Crusader, which can cheat out your Countess, can cheat out like a Light Ray if you need to, but basically it's just tempo. But overall, you have a pretty aggressive base deck. You have your new cards in here like Sanguine Soldier, you have Seal of Blood, and probably my favorite diamond card. I mean, it just looks amazing. Blood Matriarch Liadrin, where if you summon a card with less attack than this, it gets Divine Shield and Rush. So if you buffed it up, you just buff up everything you play, which is pretty darn good. And yeah, it's a very effective swarm deck, and you got some RNG and randomness in there with the Countess, the 5-star card. I was right after all. It's seeing some play somewhat in this deck, and yeah, deck's pretty sweet, seems to be a lot of fun, and I would definitely recommend giving it a go. And I will leave off with a couple Deathlight decks. The first one is legend capable in my opinion. Freeze triple Deathlight. It's basically just a burn deck where you want to get your Death Whisper out, copy a bunch of like advances, Howling Blast, and burn your opponent out. Of course, as always, you have Astalor in here because it's Astalor. This doesn't run like all the spell damage cards I've seen some people run. This list was taken, was used by Tice, who got like to top 10-ish legend to counter the Thief Rogues. You burn them out, you just murder them, and it is an effective deck, and it's what I'm going to be trying to hit legend with later today. But I will also try the other Death Knight deck because blood is more my jam, but this does seem to be the most competitive Death Knight deck. The Saurian's in there, Overseer for Jadara, Frostworm's Fury to freeze the board, and according to HS Replay stats, it is a tier 2 deck. It's legitimate. It's probably the first legitimate Death Knight deck we're looking at. Probably not a top player, but definitely a decent pick if you're trying to get some Death Knight wins. And as a bonus, I'm throwing a 6th deck in here, probably one I wouldn't recommend that heavily, but Kale's Luna took Blood Death Knight in relatively high legend, had a pretty good win rate with this 30 card variant. It's control based. You got Soul Stealer, Patchwork, Alexandros Mograine, even Theotar in there for disruption. You got your Blood Boil. God, I love Blood Boil. It's so freaking refreshing. And just, yeah, all out control, trying to outlast your opponent, try and kill them down with your Mograine, and of course, Astalor in like literally every deck. Really solid deck. I will be trying this later again today on stream. So again, last plug for the channel, but I love Death Knight. I already got over 500 wins and I can't stop playing it. I love it so much. Anyways, on to Wild, where Discard Warlock is gone. So the meta has opened all the way up to the old same stuff. It's very samey, at least so far. No real crazy new strategies. We have Shudderwock Shaman in here though, which does not run Renathal. This list has been doing very well. Guess what? Astalor. If you haven't crafted Astalor, you might want to do it. It's in like every freaking deck. And yeah, it's just Shudderwock Shaman. You can recast them because of Serenite Chain Gang, Grumble. You have Snowfall in there again. Snowfall making the cut because you can recast it with Macaw. Just freeze the board infinitely with Shudderwock. Nothing too crazy here. Toxfin, Flurgle, all that usual jazz. Even some healing in there with Healing Rain. One of the most refreshing animations, I gotta say. The rainbow, the rain, it's beautiful. And staying with Shaman, even Shaman, also very good. You develop totems, you copy them with your whole splitting axe, you buff them with the Stormright, you got Totemic Surge, Totemic Might. I don't think there's a single new card in here. Shockingly, Astalor doesn't make the cut, but overall, get your Geigen totems out there, copy them, go crazy. Really effective deck, really quick deck. Hell, bots use it and get legend with it. And the next couple decks are also very not so new. Pirate Rogue. I think I've recommended this like every video ever because it's just a good aggro deck. It's relatively cheap. If you don't have Mr. Smite, just throw in another pirate. It's not that big a deal. The deck is ridiculously good. You just develop early game pirates, equip Swordfish, go phase, kill your opponent, and yeah, you just can't go wrong with it if you're looking for a fast aggro deck. Same goes for Secret Mage. Got a lot of support in the last expansion, and it is still, well, now it's doing pretty well. Definitely good against the combo decks because of Objection, Explosive Runes. Does a good job against like Pillager Rogue, Quest Mage if you're running into a lot of that. But yeah, cheat out a million secrets, cheat out stats, burn your opponent out with Cloud Prince, all that stuff. Very, very good deck. Also very hated, so I'm sorry for recommending it. And we'll leave off with a different style of aggressive strategy. Yes, a lot of aggression now that Renathal is taking a back seat. Sad to say, but I mean, well, that's what they want, right? Aggro Paladin. This is a different variant. I don't know. It's tracking pretty well in HS Replay. Again, this one is more of an offshoot recommendation. But yeah, Call to Arms coupled with your new cards in here like Sanguine Soldier, Blood Matriarch Leadrin, really synergistic. Do some good work. You have some disruption in here. The card I freaking hate in uMEIQElOQEh, as well as the Rubian Weblord. And yeah, you could cheat out your secrets with Sword of the Fallen. You got Seal of Blood, and even the Blessing of Authorities, Guardian's Grace. Just get a bunch of stats out there, and it's just a really fast deck. If you draw Call to Arms, you're kind of laughing. The card is pretty darn good at 4 mana. And yeah, there you go. There's 11/10-ish decks you can take to hopefully climb in Standard and Wild. And I'm excited to finally get my Standard Legend on. By the way, if you're wondering how I got all those wins, mostly in Arena and Duels, where Death Knight, by the way, is still broken in Arena after the hotfix. We'll probably have a video updating the whole meta and situation tomorrow because there is still some just baffling problems going on. Anyways, if you enjoyed the video, please like and subscribe. Have a great day. Stay salty, my friends.